Last week at Imola, Aiden Maida set sail on the entire field as it was absolutely chaotic on the first lap. We had four wide action, spins, crashes, and some incredible passes throughout the race as well. The real question, though, was who didn't have an incident versus who did. Scott Lindgren won in the AM class, and some guy named Bryan Sawyer not only finished the race, but without incident and on the lead lap. Absolutely incredible. Let's see what Japan has in store for us in week number 3. SimCAR from Okayama is next. Our venue this week is Okayama International Circuit. Opened in 1990, it has hosted the Formula One World Championship, Super Formula, and the Asian Le Mans Series. Our drivers should be fairly comfortable with Okayama. It is a circuit included in the initial membership of iRacing, wide, fast, technical, especially with the pit lane entry. The format for the SimCAR Porsche Cup is as follows. We have just started our 15-minute qualifying session, and that'll set the grid for our 45-minute race tonight, as the inaugural season of the SimCAR Porsche Cup continues tonight, live on ASN TV. With Alex Larson in the production truck and reigning SimCAR champion Ray Kingsbury next to me in the commentary box, my name is Josh Mertz, as we welcome you to Okayama in Japan. The SimCAR Porsche Cup on ASN TV is brought to you by Penguin RC Simulation. Trusted by racers for their unbeatable support, rock-solid product guarantees, and high-performance sim gear. When you want equipment you can rely on lap after lap, Penguin RC Simulation delivers every time and is proud to present the Penguin RC Simulation Drivers' Championship. By Lambert Designs, the official graphics partner for SimCAR. From promotional materials to custom paint liveries, Lambert Designs has it all. For more information, join the NASA Discord and contact Brandon Lambert. And finally, by Whiplash SimCams, bringing you every angle, every lap, no matter the track, car, or series. Visit facebook.com/WSimCams, and thank you to Andrew Cardinale IV for camera support all season. Mr. Kingsbury, we actually just talked about this before we came on air. We are trying to figure out the form book of 2026B. Everyone is everywhere. It's hard to predict. How are you, and what are you thinking?
Yeah, I mean, I think we got a good indication last week of who has some pace in these cars. I still think Anthony Flores is really fast. He's just going to have to make sure he keeps it out of the wall and out of the other cars. So I'd like to see a recovery from him. And I think obviously Aiden Maida and Cody Cosgrove had some pace last week, so we'll see some more from them as well.
As we are rolling in qualifying, it looks like a super speedway NASCAR race. There are 5 cars in a row starting this qualifying run. Matt Kingsbury in the 21 points leader coming in. We'll take a full look at the championship standings at some point during this qualifying session, Ray. But your brother leads the field to begin the qualifying run here in Okayama, down to turn 1. John Marchbank's behind him. And forgive me, as my memory's like a goldfish right now, but has SimCAR raced at Okayama before?
Yeah, we did a GT3 race here, I believe, and I want to say we did a Super Formula race here as well. There may be a GT4 in there too, but I can't remember about that one. Definitely did a GT3 here, though.
So we do have history at this wonderful circuit in Japan. 11 corners, 2.31 miles. As the field heads down the back straightaway, heading to the hairpin, one of the best overtaking opportunities. You could be brave and make up some time on your competitors in this hairpin, but then it's a quick up the hill to a double apex left-hand corner. This is one of the hardest sections for me personally to get right, and dust, the gravel, is already being kicked up. Let's shift forward to Matt Kingsbury in the 21. He's going to be the first car to finish this qualifying run. To the Redmond hairpin, turn 8. And Ray, this is a left hairpin, a right hairpin, uphill. And it's almost like you have to forfeit the first corner to get a better run through this second one.
Yeah, I definitely want to prioritize some speed into the last corner. There's definitely an advantage if you can carry some speed through the last sector there and into the last corner rather. And I think you're going to see the guys using a lot of the exit curb here because it's pretty smooth. But if you go any deeper than that and you grab any of the sand trap, it's really going to hurt you. So definitely need a good
Matt
exit.
Kingsbury sets the benchmark 130.5. It immediately gets usurped. John Marchbank's 130.7, but Aiden Maida 129.7 for the 9-2-1. Tony Flores' lap does not count. Moftaw to second, the Egyptian, 0.8 of a second back. Cody Crosgrove pips him to second in car number 9. Josh Stoltz in the 199 goes to 7th. We just talked about, as one car deep, it's Matt Kingsbury. I think he gave up this third lap in qualifying. Well, he did now. We just talked about before we came on air, Ray, 30 cars, 3 weeks in a row for SimCAR. Impressive field sizes.
Yeah, I'd say it's definitely something to keep an eye on, and we want to definitely keep that going. So hopefully everybody will join us again next season as well as we head back to the GT3s.
It's NASASimRacing.com for any and all information, not only for NASA, but for our friends here at SimCAR. Darius Timms goes to 7th. Our man Bryan Sawyer, he was in 8th. Now he's in 9th. Tucker Lindgren passes him. And it looks as though that it is about 0.6 of a second, half a second from Moftaw to Tucker Lindgren in the AM class. Clinton Funk potentially in the way of the provisional pole sitter in the 9-2-1, Aiden Maida. Down the straightaway, he'll get the slipstream on the 122 to end this lap. Will he go quicker? He does. 129.346. The laps continue to roll in. Marchbanks' lap doesn't count. Tony Flores goes to second, half a second back. Brandon Lambert goes to third. Tanner Prater to fourth. Blake Doyle went to sixth, got moved to seventh. Moftaw to fourth. And Flores, we just talked about that Flores might be a little bit iffy here. And he's already made a mistake in qualifying. Nathan Palmer, 17th. Matt Mosby just pulled out on track. Kenneth Ingersoll in the 69 from Djibouti, 19th. Actually, he goes up to 8th at a 1:30.3. Cody Crosgrove has pipped Meta at the top of the standings by 0.068 of a second. The Canadian P1 for the moment. Peter Muller to 11th.
Yeah, it's not
Kevin
a real
Boland,
surprise to
211.
me to see Cody go first. I think the question for Cody is always going to be if he's consistent enough in the race not to make mistakes, to do okay with the lap traffic. Those are always kind of the questions around him.
If I recall correctly, I think he got caught up with a couple of incidents. He had a self-spin on his own, and I think it was Melanie Prow that came together, or Prue, I should say, apologies there, that had contact with the 9. Not sure what entirely is happening there. We'll take your radio style through this. I think Alex is trying to fix some stuff. But either way, we are 3.5 minutes left in this qualifying session. Clinton Funk crossed the line. His lap has not counted. Tony Flores, 43.3, but that lap after the spin won't count. That was his fastest lap. Let's see. Josh Stoltz, 19th. Brian Sohn, 17th. Bryan Sawyer, 10th. Nathan Palmer, does he improve? One spot.
Matt
to
still
18th.
hasn't put together a clean lap. Brian's actually ahead of him.
Matt Kingsbury, championship leader. Kenneth Ingersoll goes to 6th. Matt Kingsbury, 21st. In car 21. He's on lap number 5. Zach Goddard goes to 8th. Just taking a look. As these guys are moving and flowing through this circuit in qualifying, once qualifying is done and dusted, we'll jump away for our break, come back, and take a look at some upcoming programming on ASN.
It's a very busy track out there, Josh. You've got 30 cars on arguably one of the smaller circuits for the season. I mean, Lime Rock will be the smallest for sure, but this is one of the smaller circuits for the season, and we watch as Marwan Mofta goes around in qualifying here. If you make a mistake, it's hard to link together a clean lap, let alone a valid one. So I think a lot of these guys are having to take some of their banker laps and just kind of settle for them. I don't know if they're going to be, coming in to get fresh tires or what they're going to do, but they've only got 2 minutes left. So for
Lambert
a lot
second.
of them, this will be their last lap.
Prater 8th. Matt Kingsbury goes to 8th, puts Prater down a couple of spots. Prater actually goes to 4th. And I have to argue with you. Next week is Long Beach. You think this would be more chaotic than Long Beach with 30 cars? That's going to be a good one. 9 o'clock Eastern time on ASN TV next Thursday.
We might need the safety car back for next week.
We could make that happen. We'll figure it out.
Onboard safety car? We'll never have a green flag running if we had a safety car.
Brian says we could have a war correspondent. You could have a war correspondent. You race and commentate at the same time. It's a terrific idea. Brian Sawyer goes to 11th.
I think we did it in the good old days of NASA GT Americas. I think I jumped in and did a race at Barber in the Porsche.
We'd have to go in ASN On Demand and figure that one out. Looking at Cody Cosgrove, we can take a look at car number 9. He has Matt Kingsbury right in front of him. Kingsbury's not going to have any slipstream. Cosgrove will. He is fastest by 0.3 of a second over Brandon Lambert. Aiden Maida goes P1 by 0.017. Now Cosgrove has to turn up the wick. He will have 1 lap left. Across the line for the Canadian, 1 minute 29.336. It is nowhere close to being quick. Kingsbury goes to 4th. This is Cosgrove's last lap. Can he improve?
Well, the good news for Cody is he has Matt in front of him to give him a little bit of slipstream. The bad
Off
news
the
for
road!
Cody is he's got Matt in front of him to push, to hold him up, and I'm gonna guess that invalidated his lap. So.
That's going to be touch and go. I mean, if I'm Cody, I'm just going to drive through it, right? I'm not going to look at the top of the screen to tell me if I've got an off track. I'm just going to drive, and if it counts, it counts. If it doesn't,
well, the fact he's still going, he must still have a valid lap.
Checkered flag waves. Flying laps will count in Okayama. Matt Mosby, 23rd for Kieran Lifflander Racing. Darius Timms, 19th. Tucker Lindgren, 13th. Raymond Rodriguez, we still focus on Cosgrove.
Matt's off the track. And Cody's
Raymond
off
Rodriguez
as well.
to 10th.
So it's looking like
Cosgrove has given it
up.
up.
Pretty good for that pole as Peter Muller is stuck on the exit of turn 4.
And Josh Stoltz has just spun on the exit of turn 7 in the 199. In the meantime, the AM class, where is Raymond Rodriguez? He just finished his lap. Moftaw ran a 1 minute 29.875. Raymond Rodriguez, 1 minute 29.940. It's 0.065 between the two men in the AM subclass, and they line up 9th and 10th. Clinton Funk will be the next car to finish his qualifying run. Let's take a look at the 122 across the line. He's sitting 28th. He does not improve. Bryan Sawyer sitting 12th. Across the line he goes. He does not improve with a 1 minute 30.8. And Kevin Boland will be the last car on a qualifying lap. He is sitting in 16th right now, is the Briton in the 49. And he's going to give it up. Let's take a look at the results in qualifying before we step aside for our break. On pole position, Aiden Maida in the 921. Cody Cosgrove, Brandon Lambert, the top 3. Tony Flores, Matt Kingsbury, Tanner Prater, Peter Muller, Kenneth Ingersoll, Marwan Moftaw, Raymond Rodriguez, the top 10. Goddard, Sawyer, Lindgren, Marchbanks, Coletta, Bolland, Doyle, Timms, Scott Lindgren, Brian Sohn through 20th. Apparatus, Mosby, Palmer, Stoltz, Werwis, Dubois, Pascucci, Funk, Sussy, and Cameron Gilson, who did not set a lap in qualifying. So with the grid set, let's take a quick look at our upcoming programming on ASN before we step aside and say thank you to some of our friends. Actually, plot twist, I know how to do my job. I didn't see warm-ups 5 minutes. We're hanging out with you. We're pulling an audible, but we'll still take a look at the upcoming programming. Alex, if you want to pull that up for us. And it's a whole lot of NASA Rallycross lights and SimCAR Porsche Cup. And I have no idea why Phoenix and Sonoma are still there. Welcome to live production. We're going to start with NASA Rallycross lights at Hell Rallycross in Norway. I don't think that's updated, but we're going to roll with it anyways. That is Sunday the 10th, Mother's Day night. Couldn't say Eve. That'd be the day before, right? That is 9 o'clock Eastern time. I think I'm going to be commentating that race if I'm home. I don't know. We'll figure it out as we go. Our next round for SimCAR will be Long Beach, as we talked about, on the 14th, next Thursday, at 9 o'clock Eastern Time. You'll have Alex Larson, Ray Kingsbury, and myself, Josh Mertz, for that one. Let's take a look at the championships coming into round number 3. And Matt Kingsbury leading the pro class over Matt Mosby by 8 points. Zach Goddard is 10 back. And this, it's all broken. Bryan, I'm going to blame you. So we'll just do it radio style. Scott Lindgren, 8 points up on Raymond Rodriguez in second. Marwan Moftat, 10 points back. So the point standings are literally the same. 8 points between first and second, and then it's 10 back from first to third. So what are we thinking? Aiden made it 2 in a row? Chaos? Did I lose you, Ray? Did you vanish?
Nope, I'm sorry. I got distracted.
It's okay.
Work-related text came in. Yeah, what are we thinking? Aiden Maida, Cody Cosgrove, oddball Brandon Lambert in there. I don't know. I think it's between one of the two Canadians, personally.
Let's see who's on track in warm-up. We want to get a good lap of this circuit. We weren't able to take a moment. So let's ride on board Aiden Maida. He's about halfway through this lap. Once we get those pictures back, we will ride on board the 921 and enjoy a lap here at Okayama. And what is exceptionally beautiful about this track is it was just redone artwork-wise by iRacing a couple seasons ago. This is one of the original tracks of iRacing. And it's great to see those original tracks finally get some love. So in warm-up right now, we are looking at, well, I would love to tell you if this was working. Welcome to live production. It doesn't sort them at all, so we're going to figure it out together. His lap was a 1:35.0, and I can tell you that that is the quickest lap by some margin.
Yeah, I don't think people are going out there and giving too much beans to practice here.
I mean, would you, though? Would you take the warm-up time? I mean, we talk about it all the time in rallycross when you don't want to practice on a worn-out track just for the track to get reset.
Yeah,
so
I
would
mean,
you want to do that?
The track doesn't reset here, so I mean, it's a bit different. But basically, you're just gonna go take a couple laps to get used to the cold tires. Just maybe do a pit entry, maybe just kind of.
Let's see. Now we are back with live pictures. Nathan Palmer in the 25. 1:36.001. He has not set a lap time that counted. He goes to third. A lot of these guys taking a moment, stepping away from the rigs, taking a break. Such a beautiful track. Beautiful track. It's actually one of my least favorites.
Yeah, it's a tough track. My rule of thumb always with the warm-ups, though, was just to kind of if I didn't get a pit entry practice in, I did one during the warm-up. If I wasn't sure how my cold tires were going to feel, because I had just done a whole bunch of runs on warm tires, in qualifying there, just do kind of an outlap, get used to it, practice a race start type deal. That's what your warm-up is for. I never took it too much to, try to find pace, because it's too late for that.
The big thing here that I struggled with is the final set of corners. Always, always, always obliterated the curb in the penultimate corner, and it messes up your entire setup for the final corner. Just want to remind everyone very quickly before we get rolling, SimCAR and ASN brought to you by Penguin RC Simulation, Lambert Designs, and Whiplash SimCams. If you like what you see, be sure to like and subscribe to ASN TV, no matter the platform, at ASN TV USA. And NASASimRacing.com if you'd like to join, whether it's Rallycross, Cross Car, Stage Rally, Porsche Cup, or GT3 coming up in the summer months. Let's take a look at our grid for the third round of SimCAR. Aiden Maida, pole position by the slimmest of margins over Cody Crossgrove. Brandon Lambert, Tony Flores, row 2. Matt Kingsbury, Tanner Prater, Peter Muller, and Ken Ingersoll through 8th. Marlon Moftah, Raymond Rodriguez, 9th and 10th. That is the AM class front row, effectively. Zach Goddard, Bryan Sawyer, Tucker Lindgren, John Marchbanks, Daniel Coletta, Kevin Boland, Blake Doyle, Darius Tim, Scott Lindgren, Brian Sohn through 20th. Christos Abaratis, Matt Mosby, Nathan Palmer, Josh Stoltz, Matthew Warwis, Eric Dubois, Joe Pascucci, Clinton Funk, and Josh Sussey is our grid as we roll in Okayama. Just another reminder, 45-minute race. Fuel is capped at 50%, so we will see a pit stop at some point. And it's just a matter of when. So excited to bring the third round of the SimCAR Porsche Cup to you. And Daniel Coletta and Tucker Lindgren. Tucker Lindgren didn't make the corner under warm-up. His cat got in front of the monitor. And I can tell you, thank you, Siri, trying to listen to me on my iPhone, not a sponsor. You stay right in that mount. Don't move. Stuff's falling over, guys. Welcome to live production. We think chaos in turn 1. I think chaos in turn 1.
Nah, let's be optimistic, Josh. They're going to make it to turn 2.
Organized chaos in turns 1 and 2, Mr. Kingsbury. Aiden Maida on pole position, Cody Crossgrove on his outside. Safety car for the first and only time will head to the pit lane as we get set for 45 minutes of action here at Okayama. Thanks for joining us on ASN TV. We get set for Porsche Cup in Japan.
Bit of an accordion
Green flag.
Effect deeper into the
very,
field.
very big jump from Maida off the line, leaving Crossgrove and Lambert, not teammates, a fight down to turn number 1. Side by side, Lambert takes the spot. Flores trying to fight and follow the 46
Huge
through on the 9,
crash.
and Crossgrove pushes him to the side. Massive contact in the back. Marchbanks and Moftah and Zach Goddard, thanks for picking me up on that, Ray. We're 3 wide in the mid-pack, also in the back of the field, as the leaders have calmed down for the moment. Matt Mosby looking to the outside of Raymond Rodriguez. That is apparently for 10th, but there's a lot of positions that are moving. Coletta's up from 15th. Rodriguez in 10th. Mosby's up from 22nd. More
Palmer
accidents in the back.
And
Brian Sohn as well. What has happened to Brian Sohn? A massive... What happened here?
Car's airborne.
Oh, Blake Doyle and Scott Lindgren. Massive hits.
Smoked. Clinton Funk got smoked. Or sorry, that was Nathan Palmer.
Massive crashes in the mid-pack in the back of the field. Scott Lindgren says not intentional on Blake Doyle. The apology...
I'm going to be real. I'm not really sure where Scott was supposed to go. He was pretty much on the curb there.
You got to imagine that the spotter's saying something, whether it's from iRacing or whether it's an additional program. And you know that's a very tight section through, let's call it that turn 3-4 little chicane.
Yeah, it's
Action
the
down to turn 1.
straight.
And there's already...
Rodriguez just dove in on Coletta, but we've got Matt, it looks like...
Prater to the inside. Sorry, Ray. Prater to the inside on Crossgrove for the third spot. And they were going through the beach effectively in turn 1. They're side by side down to turn number 4.
And Mosby's about to pull a double. He just pulled by Rodriguez, and he's looking to go by Coletta. He just did a crossover. There was a gap that didn't exist, but he took it. And they're 3
Prater
wide.
And Flores, 3 wide.
3
Coletta,
wide through
Mosby, and Rodriguez. And Palmer, Sohn, Doyle, all off the road in the pit lane. Marchbanks has exited the pit lane. Aiden Maida trying to pull away from Brandon Lambert. One around off the road. Is it Mosby in the 35 for KLR? Boland in the 49, right behind his teammate Bryan Sawyer. Now apparently in the 26 car. He's changed numbers.
Crossgrove is giving Flores the bumper up and through Hobbs there.
Cody Crossgrove gave up a couple of positions Flores trying to catch Prater. Nathan Palmer's leaving the pit lane, and everybody has calmed down for the moment. Mosby's lost another spot to Rodriguez. Rodriguez, huge run. Let's take a look at this. Raymond Rodriguez, Daniel Coletta, Maida sets the fastest lap. Boland and Mosby side by side down to the first corner. Rodriguez and Coletta. Rodriguez takes the spot. There is so much gravel on the outside of turn 1. You do not want to get that stuff on your tires, obviously. Sawyer to the inside on Mosby in turn 2, and they nearly touch.
And Sohn and Palmer are back out on the track, obviously a lap or two down, but they are merging back out into the traffic.
Last time around.
Cody Crossgrove.
Cody Crossgrove in the 9.
The hill. It's going to fall further
gone
down
from
the
bad
roster
to worse for the Canadian. Oh, and the car gets really light through turn 4. Really light through turn 4. He hit the gas, and it lit up those rear tires on that Porsche. Side by side, Boland and Coletta. Through turn 5, Revolver to turn 6. And turn 7, Coletta off the road. Boland looks to his inside. Mosby as well. They touch! That was not going to end up. It did! Wow! They saved it! You don't save it often through that corner.
Yeah, I think that was a little bit of self-preservation on both drivers' part there.
Mosby, Coletta. Here comes Sawyer in the 26. Side by side with Coletta. And move the man from Wisconsin up another position. He is in 10th spot. Maida another half second up on
Pascucci's
Lambert
off
the last time around.
And
Pascucci looped it on his own through one of the hairpins.
Yeah. So it looks like
Eric Dubois letting one of his competitors through. The 000 let Cameron Gilson by in the 7:55. The one guy that did not set a qualifying lap from Australia. And it looks like we've got 2 packs forming up. 1st through 6th, and then Rodriguez in 7th. And for context, he lined up with Moftaw on the front row of that subclass, Ray.
Mm-hmm.
And Marwan's down in 23rd.
Yeah, Marwan got taken out in that turn 1 accident. There was a 3-wide between Marshbanks and I'm not sure who the lime
Sawyer
green car
and
was.
Boland. Boland on the outside trying to make a move. Nothing done.
But yeah,
Alex, you could just say fixed on this. Sorry, Ray, go ahead.
Was a rough one there. We had 5 cars out into the sand trap.
Muller gets by Flores for the 4th position. Move the 972 up 1 spot, one of the Solpec cars. As Flores in the 10th spot. We've got more cars side by side. Boland and Timms. Timms forces his way through, and Boland's the victim. Around he goes. And you have to wait. Another car. Contact. It's Goddard in the 229. And it's Clinton Funk who drove into him. There's an argument over the radio. I think Boland thinks that Goddard upset with him. He was not upset with him. He was upset with Clinton Funk. Two seconds is the gap from Maida to Lambert. And that's a further 3/4 of a second from Lambert to Prater. And Boland is not a happy camper right now over the radio. So we did not get a chance to ride on board. Let's ride on board the 921 of Aiden Meta. Enjoy this lap, and if there's anything chaotic, we'll break out of it.
Well, unfortunately, Mr. Boland, the stewarding team doesn't take kindly in SimCAR to excessive voice chat, so he's been put in timeout verbally. But yeah, those types of incidents are really frustrating. You know, you don't really do anything wrong, and someone gets a little too aggressive or misjudges, and mistake is made, and next thing you know, your car's around. But fortunately, it's part of sim racing.
And that's the big thing that a lot of the people that look down on sim racing, right? Oh, it's just guys on a computer in a video game. No, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. I mean, if you were at the Sim Gaming Expo, or if you watched that and you see the emotion, There's a reason why I screech when cars are having a hell of a battle, because the racing is real regardless if it's on a simulation or not. The emotions are real, and Bolin just maybe let the emotions get the best of him. But he's still in the session. Let's see where he is. Can I find him on track? It's gone from bad to worse for Bryan. Son. Bolin is on track 24th for the Briton. Moftah battling Clinton Funk. This is for 20th. Eric Dubois as well. These are all AM class cars, but they are down the order. And Raymond Rodriguez slowly chipping his way through the field, Ray. He is in 7th right now, leading the AM class. That's Clinton Funk battling with Marwan Moftah.
You know,
Egyptian takes the spot.
Josh, after this race, as it stands, Matt's not going to be leading the championship. It might, well, it'll be a different Matt. It'll be probably Matt Mosby, by the look of it, unless Aiden Meta with a double win would pull enough points to kind of get up there.
As he just sets fast a slap again. The sun has dipped behind the clouds.
Funk
One around. Is it Clinton Funk in the 122 and the 755 of Cameron Gilson as well? Was that related? No. Josh Stoltz made contact with Gilson, and Funk hit the curb and hit Zach Goddard again in the 229.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened to Funk there, but he was turned around, it looked like, in the straightaway, so it looks like he might have gotten checked off the corner.
Left sides were on the curb, and I think the ripple of the curb might have spooked him. Yeah, loose.
He got a little loose. Someone got into the side of him when he got loose. One of those things that happens.
As Brandon Lambert, half a second back on Aiden Maida. Shout out Matty Grove, former NASA Rallycross Contenders champion, hanging out with us in our chat. Be sure to join in on the conversation. I keep an eye on it. I got 3 displays in front of me. We got so much information. Timing and scoring also available as well. I'll actually be a good soul. There you go. Maybe that'll work. I don't know.
Paletta just went through on Bryan Sawyer for 10th there.
Lambert, Prater, Muller battling for the 2nd spot, as Lambert was actually slower than Prater and Muller, and he gave up basically a second on Maida that last time around. Going back to Sawyer. Sawyer goes wide in turn 1, loses the spot to Timms.
Well, Peter Mahler, he's got a lot of experience in his Porsche Cup car. He was saying he was having a little bit of trouble getting down to the 28.2s is what he told me before the race. Well, a 28.2 would be the pace you would need to be leading this race, so I don't think his pace is at all problematic.
As Prater closing in on the 46 of Lambert. And if you're Muller and you've got the pace in hand because you know you can run that, you think he's just hanging back, pulling a U strategy and just waiting for these guys to tangle?
You know, I'm not sure. One thing I am keeping an eye on, though, Josh, is Kenneth Ingersoll's last 2 laps are both invalidated. I don't know if that's from slowdowns or off tracks or what, but I'm wondering if he's having some issues getting clock smashed or what's going on with him.
Let's taking a look through the field. One car not in this race tonight, Carter Gosh, the kid from Minnesota, had 2 consecutive internet connection issues. One while he was leading in Spa, and he was mid-pack last week in Imola and did not make the journey here to Okayama. And Brandon Lambert, he is the pin to this grenade, Ray, because he ran a 1:29.665, Prater 29.693, Muller 29.611. Tony Flores was 4/10 faster.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting.
Battle
They're
for
gonna start
second.
getting stacked up.
And this is, if I'm Prater and if I'm Muller, I'd be fuming because you clearly have the pace and you are letting, or rather Lambert is letting, Maida just run off into the sunset again. Prater looks to the inside, says, hey, I'm here.
But, you know, it's not impossible to pass. You can make the move, so you got to just time it right.
As Muller looked left, looked right. through the hairpin and through double apex.
It's not an easy track to pass at, but it's a very passable track. It's not
rewarding.
a ton of high downforce corners throughout. You've got a few hairpins in there. You can make dives if you get a run.
Very rewarding when you get this circuit right. Just echoing what Mr. Grove says in chat, be sure to like and subscribe to our casts on ASN TV. Or if you're watching on ASN On Demand, welcome in. Be sure to join us live. We'll take a look at the schedule shortly as we are in the Porsche Cup for SimCAR Round 3 at Okayama. 31 minutes and 31 seconds left to go in this race. And it's already been furious. And Clinton Funk says that is a joke as Matt Kingsbury ran into him. Not sure what's going on. Pit stops. Josh Stoltz kicking it off in the 199 from 16th.
Trying to find out, Josh, what was going on back there. It sounded like Matt was involved with someone moving under brakes or something.
It was at the top of the hill, turn 5. They were heading to the braking zone, and Clinton Funk either turned in or Matt Kingsbury dive bombed, or 6 of one, half dozen of the other. Made contact. It's getting worse it's getting better and also worse. Aiden Meta, 129.392. He was only a 10th faster than Lambert, but he was still a 10th faster than Lambert, and these two guys are just stuck behind the 46. Now, Lambert, being the wise veteran that he is, I've known him, wow, this is going to make us both feel old, Brandon, when you watch this back. Nearly 20 years. I know how he knows how to drive. He's probably conserving fuel. Why would you push the car? You have the pace.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot of sense in pushing with where Brandon is. He probably knows he's not going to catch Meta. He's just running a consistent pace. This is probably right about what his pace actually is.
And Lambert's won titles
and, he's not going to sacrifice his tires, so...
He's won titles in numerous disciplines because he knows what he's doing. The man from Alabama sitting second. And that last time around, he ran a 29.6 again, 29.3 for Prater, 29.2 for Muller. If I am these two, and without the fuel numbers in front of me, Ray, obviously it's a little bit harder, but is there a possibility to pit now if you're these guys in 3rd and 4th to get clear, Lambert?
Yeah, definitely. I would be down right now. I would uncork myself from this situation. The only thing is your car is slower on a heavier fuel load, so you would need to be quite a bit quicker to be able to make up for that time difference, because they're going to get a little quicker and you're going to get slower. So,
as Flores also joining this party, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th, and Flores nearly contact with Muller. These guys knowing what they are doing. Kenneth Ingersoll 6th, Matt Mosby 7th, Raymond Rodriguez 8th, Timms and Lindgren the top 10, Bryan Sawyer 11th. Cody Crosgrove has recovered to the 12th position as he passes Tucker Lindgren. And right now, that's our closest battle between 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. And if I look timing-wise, 5.5 seconds from Maida to Lambert. And we'll see if this updates. Prater's nicer than me. I'd be slipstreaming and maybe giving just a slight nudge. Tell Lambert, hey, I'm here. 29.3 to a 29.3 to a 29.4. Meanwhile, Maida, 29.2. Prater looks to the outside. Inside, rather. Now outside of turn 2. Can he make it stick on the outside? Forcing Lambert to the curb. He's on the curb now, side by side through turn 3. Battle for 2nd. And Tanner Prater said, I'm done with this. Making the move. Can he close the door? But he leaves it open for Lambert. Fair racing. Move the 14 to P2.
Well, the answer is yes, Josh. Yes, he gets sticking on the outside. And now this is going to uncork Mahler as well, because he's going to have a run into the hairpin here. So I think we're going to start seeing Lambert fade as drivers get opportunities.
Deep on the brakes, down to the hairpin, turn 5. Just enough room between
impressive.
These guys.
Oh, that was moving under the brakes.
Muller and Flores, 4th and 5th. We've lost Daniel Coletta. He is disconnected. What has happened to him? I'll try and take a second look and see what has transpired. We've lost Daniel Coletta on lap number 12. Oh, he just drove off the road and parked the car. All right, then. Sometimes it's just like that. You have a bad night, and you're like, what am I doing this for? Crosgrove to the inside of Lindgren for 10th.
Whoa, Mahler, big slide.
Contact with Flores and Mahler, and around the 972 goes. Can he get the car turned back around without traffic interfering, or rather him interfering in traffic? He does. Here's Mosby in the 35. So Mahler, not back up to speed, will lose the 6th spot and potentially the 7th spot to Raymond Rodriguez.
Yeah, no contact in there, Josh. It was just a lazy spin. Flores was able to stay off of him, but for sure those back tires are going to be a little cooked now. We do have a crash as Eric Dubois has gone off in the hairpins.
Eric
he
Dubois
seems to
not
have
happy over
possibly
the
been
radio.
sent by
Kevin
somebody.
Boland in the 49 hits the 000, and around he goes. And Eric Dubois is not someone that's easy to annoy or make angry. But I heard a slight bit of malice in his voice when he said twice in the same race from the same guy. Side by side, Timms and Cosgrove.
Side by side.
Dude, Cosgrove comes across into Timms.
Wow.
What was that? Car right, Mr. Cosgrove.
It's funny. I just saw Brandon Lambert do the same thing to Mahler the lap before where he came over. I think it's just, when you're that driver on the right side, you're like, I'm giving plenty of room, right? But when you're the driver on the left side, you know that the racing groove is all the way over on that far edge there. So you want to move over as much as you can. I think neither driver wanted to give any amount of room.
As Boland and Funk dueling away in the back of the field, pitting a Sawyer in the 26. Will he begin pit stops in Okayama? We're about halfway through round 3 of the SimCAR Porsche Cup from Japan. You will not miss a thing. We'll go ASN nonstop from Okayama.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Absolutely be doing what he has to do. He has to go for the championship. He has to recover the points that he lost. He's down the race, takes the lead in the 12. What a move. And he takes the lead and holds it.
Side between these two in the turn one. This is going to get spicy.
Exiting turn one, over the jump to begin the first lap clock at the inside line. McFarland contact between them. They are still side by side. This opens the door for Wetz. He can't make anything happen. In the 26, he has not won in quite some time. Dragster acing the entry to turn one, up heading to the inside of Magnus, gives him a nudge. The grip strip on the inside, Phil. Wetz had a little bit better run, but looks like Robbie will hold his spot.
The SimCAR Porsche Cup on ASN TV is brought to you by Penguin RC Simulation, Lambert Designs, and Whiplash SimCams. Just a reminder, if you like what you see, be sure to like and subscribe to ASN TV, no matter the platform at ASN TV USA. According to Bryan, we're still on the dark web. Nobody's asked him about it, but be sure to ring the bell to catch our live streams every week. And just a reminder also, if you would like to have your content broadcast at asnTVUSA.com, and if you would like to race, whether it's SimCAR or NASA, Rallycross, Crosscar, Stage Rally, GT3, Porsche Cup, bring us an idea. It doesn't matter. The more the merrier. NASASimRacing.com. We welcome you back to Okayama in Japan for round 3 of the 2026B SimCAR Porsche Cup with Alex Larson. Panicking with all of his buttons. He's having such a terrible time. You're doing such a great time, but everything's broken on his end. He's doing phenomenal. Ray Kingsbury next to me in the commentary box. My name is Josh Mertz on ASN. We're having a fun time. The button box might be burning down, but it's okay. Welcome to live production. Aiden Maida has continued his crusade to dominating this race, Mr. Kingsbury. If I refresh my timing, he is up now by 7.5 seconds over Tanner Prater. And he's still half a second quicker than him the last time around.
Yeah, he gone.
In AM, though, let's go back. We're already there. It is a family affair between the two Lindgrens. We have Tucker and Scott, 9th and 10th overall. They've got Darius Timms on the rear wing. And this is getting interesting because of the pit stops yet to unfold. We had a couple cars pit. Fastest lap, Cody Crosgrove at a 28.6 rather.
Well, unfortunately for Cody, he's got a long way to go before that lap time is going to really make much of a difference.
Yeah, 28.6 to a 28.8 for Maida the last time around. As they lap Eric Dubois in the 000, Tanner Prater, Brandon Lambert. Lambert has hung on to the rear wing of the 14, despite thinking that he was just going to be left in the dust. As we stay focused, now back to Lambert and Prater. We were looking at the Lindgrens with Darius Timms.
Well, with 15 minutes left, I guess theoretically, Cosgrove could get up to a couple of these guys, maybe up to Ingersoll and Flores. I don't know if he'd be able to pass them though. Meta's just gone. I mean, he's just checked out.
I'm looking on timing. The first car to have pitted out of this is Raymond Rodriguez in the 129. He pitted 4 laps ago. That's 15 cars that have yet to pit. Who is going to pull the pin and head to the pit lane? Joe Pascucci does, but he's off the lead lap in 23rd. It's been an interesting race. A couple of big crashes. Peter Muller off the road in front of Cosgrove. Teammates battling for 6th. Here comes Cosgrove. Will there be a battle between the teammates? It does not look like it.
No, but
off the road, Clinton Funk in front of them.
Putting down some kitty litter.
And we've seen in the bend when Cosgrove and Clinton Funk were near each other, what happens last season in Grand Am.
Oh, I won. That's what happened. Because
an absurd pitch strategy.
Fireworks happened.
And Funk stays out of the way of those two. And if I'm Clinton Funk right now, I would just try and stay in the tire tracks of these two. Get all of the track time that you can behind the fast guys. I say it a lot during the rallycross weeks for the guys that are slower. I say if you get passed by Evan or Kieran, stay behind them. Try your best to stay behind them. Look at their replays after the race to learn more than just from what you're seeing in the car.
Yeah, there's something to be said about following a guy who's faster than you. They're running faster than you for a reason, and it's usually not because they're pushing harder.
It's Matt Mosby 8th. Scott Lindgren still holding the lead over Tucker in the AM class, 9th and 10th. Tucker was 0.3 faster than Scott the last time around. Scott won round 2 at Imola, trying to hold off his son in the 997. No appearance for Dex Lindgren yet this season. We got some dust kicked up.
Arabatis and Goddard are battling right now. Sorry.
And this is for 11th and 12th between the man from West Virginia and the man from Greece.
I caught out of the corner of my eye the 27 was quite sideways coming out of one of the hairpins, but he made a nice save and gathered it back
Darius
together.
Timms has spun it in the first hairpin. Has to let Boland go. Pulls out in front of Josh Stoltz. No contact. We take a look. Is this Matt Kingsbury and Raymond Rodriguez for 14th and for 15th. Ray pitted 6 laps later than Matt did. Still no pit stop for the top 13 cars.
A little fight in between Stoltz, Timms, and Mofta, I believe that is down there.
That is
back around the
Stoltz,
18th,
Timms,
19th
Mofta,
position.
yes. 18th, 19th. Mofta and Stoltz in the same class. Timms struggling.
Check up.
Whew. Up to P7.
Mofta really got under the brakes there. Avoided hitting him off for sure.
Cosgrove and Muller battling for 6th and for 7th. No pit stops yet. Matt Kingsbury has gotten by Raymond Rodriguez in the 21 to the 129. I think it happened in turn 5, and it was just deep on the brakes. I think Matt knew he had to send it. Ray also kind of missed his braking point and lost the position. Ryan Sawyer in 16th after the pit stop for the man from Wisconsin. Anything is an improvement from 22nd last week in Imola. Stoltz, Timms, Mofta still dueling away. Pitting is Cameron Gilson from 13th, the Aussie, in the 755. We've got Cosgrove and Muller trying to weave their way through lap traffic. We also have this battle. This battle still raging, Ray, from 18th, 19th, and 20th. Timms slipstreaming off the final corner. Peek to the inside on Stoltz. Stoltz leaves him plenty of room. Respectful racing between these two cars down to turn 1. And right now, Mofta loves what Darius Timms is doing because that puts Stoltz in his clutches for an AM class position. This is for 5th in class. Moftaw better run off of turn 2, trying to find a way around through the Moss S down to turn 4.
Yeah, Marwan Moftah's being very, very kind, in my opinion, with how much room he's giving Josh Stoltz. I'm surprised we haven't seen a nose go in anywheres yet. There's a couple things that got closed off that I was like, I don't know if I would be moving that much.
Joe Pascucci had an issue in the final corner. He is off the road. Eric Dubois in the pit lane as well. And just to clarify, as I'm a very good journalist, it is 50% fuel. These guys have to pit, correct? Or is it possible to save fuel? Arabatis pits in the 27 from 12th. So I think the pit stops, I might have answered my own question. I think this is the farthest these guys can go. Prater and Lambert battling still for second. 9.5 seconds from Maida to Prater, first and second. Is Prater heading to the pit lane? No, he skips it. 11 minutes left in Okayama. The AM class battle. Scott ran a 130.226. Tucker ran a 130.256. Identical lap times for father and son battling for the AM class win. We're taking a second look. What happened to Bryan? Oh no. Did Bryan crash? Final corner for the 26. No, Bryan! You're not supposed to do that, sir. Unfortunate. Put him down to 14th. So in all that chaos, Kenneth Ingersoll has hit the pit lane. Christos Arabatis pitted a couple laps ago as well. Cameron Gilson he went off the road trying to chase down Tony Flores, but it was for nothing as Gilson off the lead lap. We're back to this Moftaw, Stoltz, Timms, and now Bryan Sawyer battle, all for 15th through 17th. 9.5 minutes left to go. How annoying is it to have to be pitting shortly, but be caught up in a battle, and you can't push too hard, you don't want to burn fuel? On board Timms. To the inside on Sawyer, takes the spot. Moftaw behind Sawyer now. Stoltz behind. What a brake check from Moftaw. Had to result in Stoltz evasive action. And the 199 takes the spot, but he nearly drove into the back of the 191. Looking back from Bryan Sawyer's car. Top 9 yet to pit. And Tucker pits. Mosby pits. Side by side. That's Moftaw and Stoltz.
And Arabatis is catching up to them. Or wait.
It's going to be a 5-car battle.
Pits. My bad.
Did Stoltz run out of fuel or did he let him go? I think he let Moftaw go.
But, Josh, this is all happening, and look who is catching up to them. You've got Aiden Mitta catching up to the back of this whole crew.
As the race leader. Will he pit? Let's see.
I was going to say, he has to pit, right?
No, well, he has to, but he has not pitted yet. 6 cars have yet to pit. 10.5 seconds.
Stoltz is going inside a Moftaw.
Prater pits. Lambert follows. Flores follows.
What a move by
Second,
Josh
third,
Stoltz.
and fourth have pitted. Peter Muller heads to the pit lane. No, he doesn't. He stays out. So where is Scott Lindgren? Will Lindgren pit? And then it's going to be a battle of Scott versus Tucker for the AM class lead. We still stay focused on Moftaw and Stoltz. Unbelievable battle for the 16th and 17th positions. 2nd through 4th on the pit lane right now. Prater has exited the pit lane ahead of Lambert, ahead of Flores, and Muller Muller, I think, missed the pit lane entry. I'm not sure if that's going to be a black flag for pitting in the middle of the final two corners, but I suspect he'll get one. Crosgrove going up the order. Scott Lindgren in the pit lane as well. Where is Tucker?
Whoa,
Tucker's
Funk's around exiting turn 2.
Final two corners for Tucker Lindgren, keeping an eye on the AM-Class. Scott Lindgren exits. Can we shuffle to this AM-Class battle? This is the battle for the win, and Tucker's not going to get close to his dad, Scott, in the 7. Wow. I was expecting that to be much closer than it was. So the only car left to pit, Aiden Maida, and he heads to the pit lane now in the 921.
Josh, you ever look at parts of this track and you're just like not sure where you are?
Yes, especially now with the art rework.
Yeah, they all start to kind of look the same.
Unrecognizable. iRacing did a great job when they redid this track for sure. So Prater exiting the second hairpin. Turn number 9, Hobbs corner. Mike Knight cornered turn 10. And turn 11, appropriately named last corner. But it's no contest. That speck in the distance on screen, that was Aiden Maida exiting the pit lane. And the Canadian holds the race lead with 5.5 minutes left.
Yeah, it's not close at all. It's 3 whole corners basically at this point.
It's been an impressive drive from the 921, just like last week. And at this point, I don't think he ran in Spa, but the drop week would go into effect, and it wouldn't even matter for him. The double win, I know we talked about it earlier, he might be at the top of the board come to the end of this race.
Yeah, if you start factoring in the drop round, he's definitely in contention at this point. I mean, of course, not having the drop round is unfortunate because you never know what can happen, but I mean, you don't necessarily need it if you can string together multiple race wins.
Tucker has closed in on Scott for the AM-Class win. This is for 10th. No, apologies. Raymond Rodriguez has pipped them when he pitted so early compared to those two. 12 laps before, the Puerto Rican has snuck his way back into the AM-Class lead. And if you're the Lindgrens, I'd be furious.
Well, Josh, you definitely snuck
strategy.
Because we didn't even notice.
It's hard to keep track of 30 cars. Thanks for hanging out with us on ASN TV. It's so hard. I'm looking at timing on one screen, iRacing on another, and then what you guys see on a left screen. And we still can't pay attention to everything.
And, we've had a few drivers drop far down the order. They're starting to recover. Matt has recovered all the way up to 8th, our championship leader. So we were saying, Matt Mosby might be the championship leader, but Matt's right up to his bumper here pretty much. So that's looking unlikely, though not impossible. And, obviously there's drivers towards the front of the field that are going to be gaining significant ground on both of them. So it'll be interesting to see how the points shuffle out after this one, Josh.
3 3/4 minutes left to go in this race in Okayama. I'd call it unofficial points lead from Aiden Maida, but we will have those points for you next week before we go green in Long Beach, 9 o'clock Eastern Time on ASN TV next Thursday.
Yeah, I would say Maida has the calculated points lead if you put in that drop round for sure.
And Marwan Moftah got massive oversteer off the final corner, loses a spot to Arabatis. Who's impressed you tonight?
The
Mr.
Lindgrens
Kingsbury?
are battling so hard that they're draft breaking each other. Who's impressed me probably the most is Prater, and then I would say Lambert, because I really didn't expect Brandon Lambert to be on the podium tonight.
I think there were, if I recall correctly, there were, I think, 3 or 4 new members of the Discord today, and I think they're all racing. Tanner Prater, I think Peter Muller, although I think Muller also ran last week. Cameron Gilson. There's Blake Doyle, I think. There were 3 or 4 guys that joined to race tonight. Awesome to see the growth at NASA Sim Racing and our friends at SimCAR. Lambert looking cushy for that P3 in the 46. No pressure from 4th, Kenneth Ingersoll.
Though Moftah's putting pressure on Arabatis right now. Little
The
battle
duel
for
between
16th position.
the Lindgrens still rage on. Arabatis and Mofta.
Oh,
Updates.
Timms is off the track, and here comes Bryan Sawyer down the front straightaway.
One around. Mofta in the 191 for the second lap in a row. Timms and Sawyer as well, dueling in turn 1. Bryan has the outside. It'll change to the inside for turn 2. This is for 13th and for 14th. The corner slightly off camber for Timms in the 31, but he holds it.
You know, Josh, you did a good job catching Mofta going around there. We caught it just in the back of the camera, it looked like there. That was indeed the 191 off into the gravel trap. And I don't think he collected anyone else. He did get it rolling again.
I'm telling you, that this whole track, it looks easy on paper. It looks easy because it's super wide, but the way the curbs, there's not a lot of elevation change, but when it is, it's usually off camber. It's such a challenging circuit.
And the Lindgrens are about to go side by side here for that second place in the AM class.
I'm envisioning you and your brother back in 2021 in NASA Rallycross when you crashed each other in the semifinal. I think
That's what I was going to say. Is I don't think we would have made it this many corners.
There's
no,
going
I
to be
have more faith
contact
in them.
made.
They've made it 45 minutes almost. That would make
fair.
it 2 corners, if that.
Shots fired. Clinton Funk stays out of the way of these guys battling for 13th, 14th, 15th. And Bryan Sawyer in 14th, getting better by the day in this Porsche Cup. Scott Lindgren last time around, 2/10 down on Tucker. Tucker was faster than him. Let's find our race leader. Believe we might not hit the checkered flag. We might have 1 lap left. There are 15 seconds left in this race.
Oh, we've got Eric Dubois around again.
Dubois has had
But Cody
a horrible race.
Cosgrove is about to launch an attack on Kenneth Ingersoll around the outside here.
Final corner for Aiden Maida. I'm taking a look at him. This is it. The checkered flag is out up front. Aiden Maida dominates again. 2 in a row for the Canadian. He wins in Okayama. Tanner Prater in second. On debut, I believe. And Brandon Lambert third. Ingersoll and Cosgrove 4th and 5th. And Ingersoll, what a run, holds him off. Flores, Mosby. We go back to the battle between the Lindgrens. Matt Kingsbury, Raymond Rodriguez. And Ray will actually win the AM class in the 129. And the battle between the Lindgrens will end with Scott leading Tucker home 10th and 11th. Slipstreaming down the front straightaway again. Zach Goddard recovers to 12th. Darius Timms 13th. And our man Bryan Sawyer up 8 positions from last week. He will come home in the 14th position. Josh Stoltz, Peter Muller, what could have been for the 972? Christos Arabatis, Matthew Warwis, Marwan Mofta, Boland in 20th, crossing the line. And we wait for Cameron Gilson in the 755.
So I just discovered, Josh, that Darius Timms went that entire race without any audio.
Wow. That's something else. I ran a rallycross race once without sound, and I crashed in one corner. So to run 45 minutes without any sound, that's something else. And especially come home 13th, not a bad race. As the field rolls in, let's take a quick look at the results just for the unofficial classification here in Okayama. And just to confirm, Maida, Prater, Lambert, Ingersoll, Cosgrove, Flores, Mosby, Kingsbury, Rodriguez, Lindgren, the top 10. Rodriguez wins the AM class. Just a reminder, let's take a look at the schedule after the top 10 of the results. And then we'll remind ourselves of some friends and get some final thoughts and say good evening, because it's been a long day. It's a lot of SimCAR with NASA Rallycross lights on Sunday, but our next round will be... That can't be right. That's not right, Alex.
That is our upcoming
That is the
summer
Grand Am
schedule.
schedule. That's the summer schedule.
Still good for people to see, though.
There we go. Our next round will be Long Beach for the Porsche Cup on the 14th, 9 o'clock Eastern Time. Myself, Alex Larson, Ray Kingsbury. And Sunday Night Lights at Hell in Norway. I think it's going to be Bryan. Maybe me. We haven't figured that one out yet. We're just going to spin the wheel and see who gets called on to commentate. That'll be 9 o'clock Eastern Time on Sunday as well. As just a reminder that the SimCAR Porsche Cup on ASN TV brought to you by a couple of our friends. And one of those friends, Penguin RC Simulation. Trusted by racers for their unbeatable support, rock-solid product guarantees, and high-performance sim gear. When you want equipment you can rely on lap after lap, Penguin RC Simulation delivers every time and is proud to present the Penguin RC Simulation Drivers' Championship. By Lambert Designs, the official graphics partner for SimCAR. From promotional materials to custom paint liveries, Lambert Designs has it all. For more information, join the NASA Discord and contact Brandon Lambert. And finally, by Whiplash SimCams, bringing you every angle, every lap, no matter the track, car, or series. Visit facebook.com/WSimCams. And thank you, Andrew Cardinale IV, for camera support all season. As you see there, ASN TV on every social platform except for Twitter. If you like what you see, be sure to like and subscribe, whatever platform it is. Pick your poison. And according to Bryan, we might even still be on the dark web. Ring the bell to catch our live streams every week. And for broadcasting information, ASNTVUSA.com. If you would like to race, whether it's SimCAR or NASA, we have something for everyone in 2026. NASASimRacing.com. Crosscar, Stage Rally, Rallycross, GT3, Porsche Cup. If you've got something you want to run, bring the idea to us. We will be more than happy to make something happen. Mr. Kingsbury, give me a final thought. We'll wrap it up.
Well, my final thought was, Josh, I need to do some more Rallycross because it sounds fun. No, that was a great race, though. Aiden Meta is definitely establishing himself as the class of the field. He's got 2 wins in 2 races, and despite that drop round having to be a big old goose egg, if you calculate out the points, he's going to be the points leader. So if he keeps it up like this, he's going to walk away with it.
There's no doubt that with the drop week, he is going to be at the top of the standings. And I'm curious to see what'll happen. I'm looking at the points coming into this week. Goddard, Kingsbury, Mosby, Marchbanks, they all had not ideal races and made us come in 2 in a row from pole position, looking really good. Scott Lindgren, Raymond Rodriguez. I'm curious to see what'll happen there because I believe the AM class was changed last season where they score on their own, correct? So it's not if you win but finish 8th overall, you get 8th place points?
I do believe they score in the overall and then it just separates out, but I could be wrong.
So we'll just have to wait and see what happens with points as Raymond Rodriguez won the AM class. As for me, quick final thought, it's always a brawl in the first lap in these Porsche Cup cars, and this is so much fun to watch. Thanks for joining us all night, of course, on ASN TV as the checkered flag has fallen on the evening in Okayama. On behalf of our entire production staff, my name is Josh Mertz. Thank you again for joining us for tonight's coverage of the SimCAR Porsche Cup. Congratulations to our winners, Aiden Meta, 2 in a row from pole position, certainly, potentially, the points lead going into Long Beach next week. And Raymond Rodriguez also, let's see what will happen in the AM class points as well. Be sure to join us next Thursday for more SimCAR action in Long Beach or on Sunday for Lights in Norway. But until then, so long everyone.